YouTube, what's going on? John Delgado here with my homie Jesse Lima. We're out here in Orlando for our STAR SMP training. But before we get into all that, I wanted to have Jesse chime in, answer a couple of questions because, like we spoke about earlier, Jesse, you know, a lot of things that I relate to, I relate in you as a barber, as a barbershop owner. We're both at the same place, both from Miami, home of the best barbers. But I wanted to ask you a couple questions, you know, so you kind of share with the YouTube world your experience. You have 20 years in the game?
20 years, yeah.
20 years. So the first thing I wanted to ask you is, I know that you came from Miami, you're born and raised in Miami, but then you moved to Tampa. So it's not even South Florida anymore, it's Central Florida, a completely different place. So I know there's a lot of barbers out there that have no clients, you know, they're just starting off, maybe in barber school. What advice can you give them being from somewhere or just starting out and trying to build up a clientele and build up their career?
Well, honestly, the hardest thing was leaving Miami, where I was already established for so long. When I started cutting hair, I was 14 years old, all the way till I was 21 years old. So it was all my friends, and just leaving my environment was hard. But I knew that if I left somewhere else, I had to rebuild, right? So my hustle had to be completely different. It was real easy for me when I was in Miami because, like I said, there's a lot of my friends and all that stuff. So coming to Tampa and coming to somewhere where nobody at all knew who I was, I had to like think of stuff to pretty much make myself stand out from everybody else. So the first thing I did, honestly, was branding myself, Six Element. And that came because of the whole, my vision of barbering and the style of barbering that we do, which is really in the hip-hop world. Hip-hop
Urban kind of barbering.
It's an urban style barber. So the first thing I did was brand myself. And then honestly, bro, I wrapped the back window on my truck. I had business cards, I had flyers. Bro, I put out 5,000 flyers a month. 5,000 business cards a month. And I had also created a portfolio. Just a little, you know, regular size portfolio with pictures inside of it. And wherever I was, anywhere I was, whether it was pumping gas, I clicked the little lever, walk to the person that's right next to me, hand them my portfolio, put it right in their hands. Hey, how you doing? I just moved out here from Miami. I'm a barber, you know, and just kind of explain to them. And once you put the portfolio in their hands, they're not going to be, no, get away. They're going to start looking. As soon as they're looking, they see good work. Whoa. Right. You know, they kind of get engaged. And then, so I had to put a lot of footwork.
Because this was before social media. When you got to Tampa, this was way before social media, before Facebook, Instagram, all that.
MySpace was the thing that was just out. And honestly, bro, I've never used social media to build clientele. Right. I can't, if I tell you I may have gotten maybe 10, 15 clients off of social media, that's a lot. You know, my social media advertising was mainly to promote myself, get myself out there in the industry, meet people like yourself, Curtis Smith, Master Bar, you know, to meet the big names like that. Right. That's what social media was for. So honestly, it was hand and foot, guerrilla marketing.
Right. So for the up-and-coming barber, you would recommend doing all that, getting into
for the up-and-coming
guerrilla marketing.
Guerrilla marketing, to me, keep it old school. You know, tap into the social media. That's okay. You want to use every avenue that you can use. But I think it's more personal when you come up to somebody, hey, how you doing? You shake their hand, you talk to them, you relate to them. Yo, you into Jordans? Yo, I'm into Jordan too. We start talking a conversation. Hey, by the way, I'm a barber, but you should come and check me out one day. Another thing, don't go to people with messed up haircuts. Step to somebody with good haircuts. Reason being is people that have messed up haircuts, 90% of the time they cut their own hair or they just don't care. They go to Fantastic Sam's. Supercuts, Fantastic Sam, great clips. Those franchises, they're never gonna go out of business. They're always gonna have clientele. So it's not even worth it. If you want to, go ahead, maybe it'll work, but like I said, most of the time, that's not the client. The client that you see them well kept, those are the ones that are gonna come to you all the time.
So the next thing I wanna ask you is about barbershop management, because I'm a barbershop owner, you're a barbershop owner. I have 14 barbers, you have 14 barbers. I know that there's a ton of barbershop owners that have a hard time with 2 barbers. So just generally speaking, you know, how do you have 14 barbers and still make it work? How do you have 14 barbers and make sure there's quality control and, you know, kind of like a, you know, same quality throughout for all your customers, all your barbers, and just keep saying with you and your friend, because you got kids, you got a wife, how do you make sure that you don't take that home and just make it all work?
Honestly, man, look, I'm a barber. I own the business, but I'm a barber. Right. All my barbers in the barbershop, guess what? They're barbers. They're not my employees. we're business partners. I treat them with the same respect. Nobody's above anybody. So honestly, 14 barbers is so hard to deal with 14 different characters because everybody's completely different. So you have to kind of learn what that person likes and dislikes, and then you got to build a relationship with 14 different individuals. It's like having 14 different wives. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to be able to build with them. Some barbershop owners I've seen, because I have barbershop owners that have, had me come to the barbershop and speak to the barbers, and then what I picked up from it, the owner wants to act like a boss. And that word boss in this industry, unless you're in percentage, which most barbershops like us is booth they're booth runners, they're not our employees. So we are not their boss, we are their leaders. So because I treat them like my team, like we're partners, but I am the leader. There's always got to be a leader of the pack that's got to help guide and everything. And that's what I do. And it's not just about cutting hair, and it's not just about making money. I help them out with their personal.
Right.
So they know that I genuinely care about them as a person and as an individual. Right. Now, does everybody fall into that? Is everybody a good candidate to do that? Like to actually to build relationships?
So you're saying that your employees aren't perfect?
Huh?
You're saying that your employees aren't perfect?
No, listen.
As a barbershop owner,
my guys are good, but I've gone through a couple different characters. Some people let you in. Some people will still always, even after years, they'll still have that door right in front of you and won't let you in to try to let you build it. Sure. So at the end of the day, this is my brand. You have your brand. They have to understand that if they can't see the vision of your brand, they're not a good fit for your business. So you got to kind of be picky. Don't just depend on that rent money. And so I've been picky. I get the barbers, I interview them. If I feel like they fit, I let them work. I tell you, they're on the test for 3 months. After 3 months, I know if they fit with everybody else. If they don't match, then they're just going to be followers.
Now, the last thing I want to get into is, we're here, like I said earlier, we're here in Orlando. We're at Steve Trujillo's shop, Simply Faded, and we're taking an SMP training. That I'm taking an SMP training. I know you took it a couple months back. And what I want to ask is, first of all, scalp micro pigmentation is something that we're seeing in the barber world more now. Why do you think, as a barber, that it kind of relates to what we do? And why do you think that it's something that you were good at and that other barbers can be good at as well?
Well, it's not something that kind of relates. I feel like it's a service that we can provide in our business. And who's more suitable to do this procedure other than somebody that knows hair, knows what the hairline is supposed to look like and how it's supposed to be put on the person? Because you could get somebody, and I'm not knocking anybody, but you could get somebody that doesn't know about the hairlines, and what are they going to need? They're going to need a ruler to put on the head, and now everybody's going to have the same exact shape up. But as barbers, we know that everybody's head structure is different. Everybody's shape up is completely different. So we got to make it fit that person's head, and we already understand that. So it's a lot easier for us to pick that up and actually put it in work. And then on top of that, I, like you, and and every barber that I know, you guys have clientele that's thinning, and we know what their struggle is because we have relationships with them. We know how much it affects them. It affects their confidence. So why not be able to provide them, other than cutting the hair in ways to make them look like they still have hair, instead of fixing it with fiber, which is going to last till water hits them, or putting Beijing, which might affect them, might affect their skin, and they might break out, because some people are allergic to that, correct? And it's only going to last 3 or 4 days. Why not come up with somewhat of a permanent solution that's going to help them, and it's going to build that confidence for them.
All right,
so
awesome.
Just taking care of your client.
I mean, I couldn't agree more. I think it goes hand in hand, obviously, and I think that the barber has that eye for it, and if other people are doing it that never did hair and they're being successful at it, why can't we? But anyways, what's the name of your shop again in Tampa?
Element Barbershop.
Nice, man. So I want to thank Jesse Lima for spending time with us, for inviting me, my staff out here to take this SMP class and share and break bread like we have in the past with barber battles and all sorts of different things. So I appreciate it. You too, if you have a chance, check out Jesse Lima's work. He's all over the internet. Amazing artist, amazing barber. So anyways, appreciate the time, brother.
You guys can check out my YouTube as well if you guys want haircuts, and I'm about to start putting some more SMP work on there too. Just search me on the YouTube as Jesse Lima, JESSELIMA.
That's what's up, man. Jesse Lima, 6 Element, Mr. Fine Line, Simply Faded Barbershop, Steve Trujillo. He's in the background. Thanks for helping out. Jay Alvarez, thanks for helping out behind the camera. What you'll find on here, check it out, YouTube.